#1. Bang, selling bad trap. I run BGE forever. Do the dad, nigga, foot to the pedal. I run BGE forever. Do the dad, nigga, foot to the pedal.
No. What? Damn.
Whoa. What's that? I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
God. I ain't never seen Vlad put out a full
He just
interview
built an
with
app.
one day. Damn.
All right, here we go. Today we have attorney Arthur Horn, who's representing Big 30 in the Pooh Shiesty Gucci Mane armed robbery.
Pooh Shiesty's fat flunky, y'all. That's what Guwap said.
And kidnapping case, where Big 30 and 8 co-defendants are facing up to life in prison if convicted. Arthur is fresh out of the courtroom where Big 30 had a bond hearing. Arthur, welcome to Vlad TV.
Hey, glad to be here, Vlad. Glad to see you again.
Glad to be Vlad.
We talked before.
Well,
Glad
this is
to
what the
be
feds are alleging. On January 10th, 2026, at 4:50 p.m., Gucci Mane, his cameraman MM, aka Matt Mazral, and someone listed only as BP were kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint at a music studio located in Dallas, Texas. There were 9 people currently charged, including Pooh Shiesty and your client, Big 30.
I know, bro.
Now, Big 30...
Niggas in a hamburger hot, a bacon glaze. I'm gonna have to try to find this shit. I ain't seen. But they said like it's on camera. That a nigga eating a bacon hot dog hamburger. A bacon glizzy sandwich. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck that
30
is.
just had a bond hearing. What exactly happened?
We just put proof on to show that 1, he wasn't a flight risk, and 2, that he wasn't a danger to the community. He has no record, no prior record. And so after we were able to put that
That's what his lawyer just said. He ain't got no prior record.
proof on and to show where he'd be living and that he has employment and actually has another big deal on the table moving forward in his rap career, the judge granted him a bond of $100,000, which he'd have to come up with 10%, wear an ankle monitor and some other stipulations or requirements.
Okay, so coming up with 10,000 is probably pretty easy for someone like Big 30.
Oh yeah, we were excited, we were ecstatic. The problem is, I think the government has until 5 o'clock tomorrow to appeal it to the federal judge in Dallas, which means if they do that, which we anticipate they will, then we'll have to go through this whole process again.
Right now, is Big 30 sitting in jail or he's out?
He's sitting in jail and he'll have to wait. If they appeal it, then he'll have to sit in jail until we have the hearing. I think Montrell's hearing has already been set for next Monday, April 13th in Dallas.
Okay, so if the feds appeal, then you have to wait until next Monday to have another hearing to see the judge.
Yeah, did they say the daddy got out already? Did they say that nigga daddy already went home? Is Shiesty Daddy free? I heard that him and Big 30 had got bonds or some shit and they released him. Cause they said he didn't really have nothing to do with it or something. I don't know, man. We keeping an eye on this shit. Yeah, man, it's a lot of shit going on. You know, lot of shit going on.
Judge actually accepts the appeal or not?
To see if the judge accepts the terms of the bond conditions, or if the judge could overturn it and say, hey, I'm not granting a bond.
I think he did that because I think Big 30 ass is still... Gucci Mane called that nigga Pooh Shiesty fat flunky. That nigga still locked up, guy.
Or he could say, hey, this is too harsh. We'll give him a lighter bond. He could...
Oh, he was the first one. I seen Skin Bone do some shit about that. I thought he was just on some joking shit. Nah, that nigga, Daddy Shiesty at home, Luntrell Williams Sr. is already free. Ah, shit, yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, everybody else gone. They ain't got to tell you now. Dad already got paperwork telling. We seen that. Damn.
Do, various things. He could either, one, take the bond away and make him sit in custody until we go to trial. Two, keep the bond conditions and the bond in place. Or three, he could lower the bond and let him out.
Well, I hope your client does get bond, because it's a lot better to sit at home than sit in jail for something that may potentially take a long time.
Yeah, particularly when this was not something that really involved him. He has no affiliation to 1017. He's not signed with them. He's been back and forth to Dallas to record music with Shiesty. As I said earlier, those two have been friends for a long time, and they made great music together. They just have a natural bond, and they just make good music together.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. So Big 30 and Shiesty grew up together. They went to school in South Memphis, and they started their rap careers right around the same time.
Damn. Dad done got out, y'all. Yeah, they just asked that nigga to stay in Texas. God damn. First nigga that made bun, man. They always say you gotta watch that first nigga out on the cave, man. And they talking about he ain't really had nothing to do with it. How you know that? The daddy got out the next day? Ah, nah. How? That shit was still on the news. How the fuck he get out? Nigga, you helped playing the shit. They said that nigga and Shiesty set up Gucci. They said the daddy the one that called Gucci man and set up the meeting. How the fuck he get out? How the fuck he get out of there? Oh man, nah, he finna railroad my nigga, man.
Yeah, that's correct.
And they have a bunch of songs together.
He finna pull a what that nigga daddy name, man? What that nigga daddy? He finna pull a queso. That nigga finna pull a queso daddy, man. Ah, man. No, man.
There, as well as a friendship.
That's correct.
So let's talk about allegedly what happened. And this is what the feds are laying out. Not that this is necessarily true or not. And
the feds ain't well, it's true, but cause Gucci made a song about it. What you say? I can almost guarantee when it come out that the daddy Gucci man would not be talked about anymore. And he already been to the feds too. He shit had I know. Yeah, they said he already done been an informant. He done been to the feds and he was an informant on that shit. Like, he was informant. So yeah, he got fed ties. What's that? RHS 9966. You answered that for me on how he got out. I know, right? Nigga say he got a track record for telling for one. I don't know his prize though, but it wasn't like a RICO charge and no drugs and murder. I don't forgot too, but WAC 100 broke it down, and in that motherfucking paperwork, it said, did he agree to tell truthful statements that can, what that shit said, help prosecute others, and he would have to go on the stand and say that shit. That's kind of the definition of snitching, so. Yeah, that nigga was, I don't know who the fuck he was snitching on and in what case, but that nigga was telling something. He had an agreement. That he was, anything in your paperwork talking about prosecuting others, yeah, you snitching, man. You told something,
active case, and you're the lawyer, so there's certain questions I understand that you can't answer, but I'm just gonna go ahead and lay it out based on what everyone is facing right now.
And that is crazy work. How the hell this man get home, y'all? Pooh Shiesty hadn't even with the court, man. The daddy was at home eating Doritos, licking his fingers, man. The nigga he was eating Doritos, licking his fingers.
10th, 2026. The alleged victims.
Nah, what you mean in this? He out now. The daddy out now for after they done robbed Gucci Mane. Which in the Fed paperwork, it said the daddy called Gucci Mane and set up the damn me. But he already at home. And Pooh Shiesty and 30 of them in jail. And the 7 other niggas. Daddy done got, he the one who set up the call. He the one who called the studio nigga and told the studio man that they need a room for Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane. He the one that called Gucci Mane and got Gucci to Dallas. How the fuck he at home? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Wax said that shit, man. It was I go back through that bitch in a minute. We'll go down and see what this lawyer talking about. They had this shit up on it's like this. On DJ Academic page, we're gonna go right to that shit. It's like this where Pooh Dad and Shiesty Dad is snitch on the old case. I think that shit was like in 2000. Was it 9, 11, 12, some shit? It was old fed. It's some old shit. But yeah, he told he was a rat back in the day. Yeah, that was crazy. And then they said Pooh Shiesty told on the nigga the victim. The sneaker man he shot and robbed for the weed. They say he told that nigga had a gun. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's crazy, man.
Flew to Dallas, Texas. So this is Gucci Mane, his head of security, a second security, as well as his cameraman Matt and someone named BP. And according to the feds,
that nigga might should have had about 5 security niggas.
Gucci Mane and Pooh Shiesty were scheduled to meet because Pooh Shiesty was upset about the terms of his contract and he wanted to be released from the contract. So he asked Gucci Mane to come to Dallas so they could meet about business. Anything to state about this?
Hey man, and now on you meet niggas about contracts, they want to get out their contract. Hey man, you gotta meet me in public, man. You gotta meet me at the White Castle up the street, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? What you say? And they booked the studio time. I know Pooh Shiesty Dad is the one booked the studio time, 10. So that let's come back to the question. How the fuck he get out? He called Gucci Mane and he booked the studio time. How is that not planning that shit? He like the biggest man. He the what they call it, the co-conspirator, fam. How is he at home?
All I can tell you, and I think I'll keep saying this over and over again, the facts that are alleged in the criminal complaint, we view the facts very differently from the government. And as it relates to Big 30, we really view the facts very differently than the government. It's not our belief that Big 30 drove to Dallas to meet with Gucci Mane and Pooh Shiesty to commit a robbery and a kidnapping. He was there to record music. He had recorded music prior to that day. He had recorded music along with other artists. I think it'll come out in that particular studio. And that was a particular studio that Pooh Shiesty was working out of while he was on home confinement in Dallas, Texas.
Right, because Pooh Shiesty got out of jail, I think about 100 days ago after doing 3 years on a 5-year bid.
Correct, but he was still under federal. So even though he was released to the halfway house and eventually put on home confinement, you're still considered to be in custody. Yeah. And so he was still considered to be in custody and allowed, I think he was allowed to work which is why he was able to go to the studio to record.
Okay, so based on the federal paperwork, at 1:45, Gucci Mane, along with his head of security and his second security, they arrived at the location, which was a music studio, which was part of a bigger office building. And when they arrived there, the recording studio was closed. So while they're waiting, they went to the liquor store, they bought some liquor and some plastic cups.
That nigga went and got some of that Douce, nigga. Yeah, it's wild that nigga out, RHS. Shit is crazy. He done help, he the co-conspirator. He the first motherfucker at home. Yeah, that tell you something.
And they went back to the studio. Now, Pooh Shiesty's father called the studio owner multiple times, and eventually the studio owner answered around 2:53 p.m., and he found out that he was trying to book the studio, so they went ahead and opened the studio at 3:15.
Big news! DraftKings Sportsbook is live in our...
Facts. That boy he the big brr in Memphis. Damn, that nigga might done took his son down. Yeah.
Okay.
So, at 3:39, an employee at the studio arrived to help with production, and Pooh Shiesty and his dad were outside, and the feds claimed they were having some sort of argument over the phone. Now, at 3:43 p.m., a few minutes later, Pooh Shiesty's dad, your client, Big 30, Baby Slime 375, KD, CMO Damn Fool.
Like, who is these niggas? CMO Damn Fool? Baby Slime? What did he say? 350 Grizzly? That nigga sound like they were goddamn shot glizzy.
So, based on the federal paperwork, at 1:45, Gucci Mane, along with his head of security and his second security, they arrived at the location, which was a music studio, which was part of a bigger office building. And when they arrived there, the recording studio was closed. So while they're waiting, they went to the liquor store, they bought some liquor and some plastic cups, and they went back to the studio. Now, Pooh Shiesty's father called the studio owner multiple times, and eventually the studio owner answered around 2:53 p.m., and he found out that he was trying to book the studio.
Y'all heard what Vlad said. Pooh Shiesty's father. He was calling the studio, man.
So they went ahead and opened the studio at 3:15.
Okay.
So.
And then another thought that just hit my mind. Didn't they say after Pooh Shiesty had Gucci sign the contract, didn't he go over to his daddy and ask him, do it look right? And his daddy told him to make Gucci Mane date that motherfucker, put a date on that motherfucker. So how the hell is he at home? My nigga TN said, let me tell you something about a snitch. They don't care about who they snitch on to get out of trouble. As long as they, as long as, hold on. And as old as that nigga is, he ain't trying to eat that time. Hell nah. Definitely not if he the first nigga home. Like real shit, bruh. That man at home, and Pooh Shiesty went to him and asked him if the contract look okay. Doesn't that scream co-conspirator?
At 3:39, an employee at the studio arrived to help with production, and Pooh Shiesty and his dad were outside, and the feds claimed they were having some sort of argument over the phone. Now, at 3:43 p.m., a few minutes later, Pooh Shiesty's dad, your client, Big 30, Baby Slime 375, KD, CMO Damn Fool, Mookie Roo 375, Glizzy 375, and DeMarcus Glover, they entered the building on the east side.
Damn.
They walked through the lobby.
Why he ain't had no cool name? Why his name DeMarcus Glover? Why they ain't call him D7 375 Glizzy or something? Damn, he was the lamest nigga in the
And they were going to the studio, and there's video footage of, photographs and so forth of them actually coming to the studio. So it's established that this group of people did go to the studio at that time.
No, I believe that's what the government is alleging, and I don't think that I don't.
Damn, I ain't never heard no lawyer stutter this much in my motherfucking life, bro. What? That nigga said, help me, please, help me.
I believe that's what the government is alleging, and I don't think that I don't think that's
I know, right? But Pooh supposed to be a millionaire and Big Shiesty, man. They niggas be having some big ass chains on. Why y'all niggas look this so hungry? Bro, who stole the fucking Hellcat? Ain't y'all niggas rich and shit? Niggas stole a Hellcat and went, man, this shit crazy.
I think there's certain facts that we will all agree, about, and I agree that they were there, and I think the government will be able to show that via video camera. They'll be able to show that from the owner of the studio. I think where we kind of the story differs will be in whether my client engaged to cross state lines with the purpose of kidnapping and robbing Gucci Mane on the 9th.
Okay, so as everyone's in the studio, according to the federal paperwork, the victims overheard Pooh Shiesty talking on a cell phone to his probation officer. And he was asking if he can get some rec time to be out. And his PO said, no, you cannot be out. You need to you actually need to return immediately. Whereas Pooh Shiesty agreed. He was wearing an.
So this nigga called his goddamn probation officer and asked him for permission after he already at the studio. Man, these Memphis nigga crazy.
Ankle monitor the whole time because he was still on house arrest. So at that point, according to the paperwork, Gucci Mane told Pooh Shiesty they could reschedule a studio session. So this was more than a meeting. It seemed like they were going to the studio to actually do music.
Again, like I told you, my client had been there the day before recording music and had been there multiple times to record music with Pooh Shiesty. And again, there were other artists that had come there to record music with Pooh Shiesty, and that was the studio that he was working out of in Dallas. So that doesn't surprise me that that studio was booked to record music.
Well, right, because if it was just a business meeting, it wouldn't be at a studio. They could meet anywhere.
That's right.
Right, but in this case, they're meeting in a studio. Pooh Shiesty tried to get more time from his PO. His PO said, no, we need to go back home. So basically, the whole studio session in and of itself got canceled at that point.
Correct, and I think at some point you saw in the video where everybody left.
So Gucci Mane told Pooh Shiesty they could reschedule the studio session, but according to the feds, Pooh Shiesty wanted to speak to Gucci privately in the attached recording room. Gucci agreed, and they entered the room with Gucci, Pooh Shiesty's dad, and Big 30, according to the complaint. And I guess there was a window in the recording room so the people that were still in the lobby could actually see inside, right?
That's according to the government. And again, I think this is where our case differs from the defense perspective. I think we have a different view of what happened in that room that day.
Okay, so at 3:43 p.m., according to surveillance footage, Pooh Shiesty's dad, Big 30, Baby Slime 375, KD, CMO Damfu, Mookie Roo 375, Glizzy 375, and DeMarcus Glover entered into the building. Now they walked into the lobby, but then, according to the paperwork, Mookie Roo 375 could be seen on video exiting the office building and coming back with a bag slung over his shoulder.
That was according to the testimony from the federal agent from Dallas.
Okay, so this is where it gets a little bit hazy. So inside the control room, and this is Gucci's there by himself, his security.
Shout out motherfucking RHS, man, for that subscribe, you feel me? Shout out motherfucking Kiki. You heard me, the boss. We in this motherfucker. Hit that like button, hit that sub. Man, we just run this shit down, man. It's a late night. Why not, man? This shit is a crazy rabbit hole. We trying to get into the mind of a Memphis criminal, man. Slash rapper. Slash Glizzy's name, man. His homeboys and his Q, you know what I'm saying? Already RHS, man. Shout out, gang. We appreciate you for coming through. You heard me? Come through more, man. I try to be live every night. Somewhere in there, 6, 7, 8, 9, somewhere up in there. Look for me, goddamn it. I'm out. I'm in there.
Security guard is outside the door of the studio, and this other security guard is actually by the car they drove in. So inside the room, both the rooms in the studio, there's no security, it's just Gucci, his people, and Pooh Shiesty and his people. So this is where it gets a little hazy. Inside the control room, the feds say that Pooh Shiesty pulled out a contract which terminated his agreement with Gucci and told Gucci Mane to sign it. When Gucci declined, Pooh Shiesty became agitated and they started to argue. Now, Matt, the cameraman at BP, could see, inside the recording room, and originally it seemed like they were discussing business, but then when the argument started to ensue, he texted Gucci Mane's head of security, who was still in the lobby. Any comment about that?
If there was a disagreement between two men that are in business together, there was a disagreement between two men that are in business together. Again, that doesn't make it a robbery or a kidnapping.
Okay, so according to the paperwork, as the argument started to ensue, they say that Pooh Shiesty told Big 30 to get his bag. Big 30 complied, and he left the recording room and came back with a bag. And they said that Pooh Shiesty pulled out what appears to be a black AK-style pistol from the bag and pointed at Gucci Mane. Now, who is saying this part?
I have no idea, because in the criminal complaint, there's no allegations of Big 30 ever having a gun or pointing a gun at anyone.
Okay, well, it said that Big 30 at this point did not point a gun, but they're claiming that he went and got a bag, gave it to Pooh Shiesty, and then Pooh Shiesty pulled a gun out of the bag.
I can't comment on whether that happened or not. I wasn't there. But again, it goes into this narrative that we have a very different view of.
Facts, man. Everybody in this motherfucker watching, man. Go to my nigga TM Germ 1, man. Hit that sub. My boy trying to put out some content. We're gonna go over there and support that shit when he drop, you know what I'm saying? And do the same over here when I'm out, I'm live. And do the same at Loso, the Big Uno 2.0, you know what I'm saying? We're trying to get the content flowing this shit, man. Stop looking at the same goddamn people, man. Try something new, you heard?
Of the facts versus the federal government.
Roll up.
Well, as the complaint goes on, they're saying that Pooh Shiesty demanded that Gucci Mane sign the release paperwork. And then at one point, Gucci Mane did sign, and Pooh Shiesty gave the paperwork to his dad. During that time, they're saying that Gucci was not allowed to leave because of the gun involved. Now, as Gucci is signing the release paperwork, they're saying that Big 30 pulled out a cell phone and started to record Gucci signing over the paperwork. Now, is this recording actually a real thing?
We haven't gotten that deep into the case where we've received discovery, but I feel pretty confident that there's not going to be a video of that.
Okay. Well, but even if there was a video of Gucci signing, unless he's saying, I'm being forced to sign this, Gucci could have just agreed to sign. They could have just worked out a deal right then and there.
Man, nigga ain't
That's
signing.
correct. I mean, but again, like I told you earlier, that has nothing to do with Big 30. He's not signed to that label. He has no interest in Pooh Shiesty being signed or unsigned with 1017. I mean, it doesn't.
That's his cousin. That's his partner, though.
Well, after the release was signed, the feds are saying that Pooh Shiesty took Gucci Mane's wedding ring, watch, earrings, and cash.
$3,000.
I can't comment on any of that. I wasn't in the room.
Man, this damn lawyer is a motherfucker, man. This nigga right here is like, it could have not went like that. Well, I'm sure that's not on there, but I haven't got into the case yet. Well, I can't comment on that because I wasn't in the room, but it doesn't sound like very likely.
I can comment on the fact that I believe that while Pooh Shiesty was locked up, he didn't receive any funds from Gucci Mane, and his music was still making money. And if there was a debt owed to Pooh Shiesty, I believe there was a debt owed to Pooh Shiesty. I don't represent him, so I don't know.
This nigga ain't told us nothing.
Okay, so after Gucci Mane signed the paperwork, Pooh Shiesty gave the paperwork to his dad, asked him if the paperwork was good. Shiesty's dad said actually needs a date, so they gave it back to Gucci. He put a date next to it, and then that was it for the alleged contract signing. But then this is where things get crazier. So as Gucci Mane, Pooh Shiesty, his dad, and Big 30 exited the recording room, the remaining subjects, KD, CMO Damn Fool, Baby Sign 375, DeMarcus Glover, Glizzy 375, and Mookie Roo 375 pulled out AK style and AR style guns and started to rob BP and Gucci's cameraman Matt. BP was pushed to the couch. CMO Damn Fool searched his pockets and stole his wallet. BB's chain necklace, which had a 1017 on it, was stolen. And during the robbery, Glizzy 375 allegedly threatened to shoot BP for moving, but Pooh Shiesty told him not to do it. Now,
Facts. Hey, man, where you from Memphis too, TN? Yeah, nigga. 8 Ball and MJG. I fuck with 3-6 Mafia too, man. I fuck with them boys. And I fuck with Dolph, man. King of Memphis, man. R.I.P., man. Flip. But this lawyer's the worst. Like, this nigga ain't giving us no information. He ain't saying shit in 17 minutes. Vlad done asked this nigga 50 questions. This nigga said, well, I can't comment on that. But, like, bro, you might well not did the damn interview.
this part of the situation. And the victims, BP and Matt, actually testified to this whole thing, and Matt had scratches and bruises on him and so forth. What's your comment on this?
Oh, yeah. I remember you did say you from the boot. I remember you came in here when I was doing that Turk shit. Turkey BG and shit like that. Yeah. You here from the boot. Yeah. For shit show. Shout out to the boot, man. I'm from Arkansas, nigga. You know, we neighbors, bro. We right on the border.
Again, we have a very different perspective of what happened. And again, Big 30 is not alleged to have done anything when that occurred.
He's blocked the door with his fat ball.
And I think if you look at the video when he's coming there and leaving, you're not going to see him with a weapon.
Okay, well, the cameraman Matt got choked from behind, almost losing consciousness, and he was robbed of his Rolex watch, Louis Vuitton bag, which had other watches in it, and there was air tags that were actually in the bags that they took. Now, this is where Big 30 gets pulled into the situation again, because as the robbery was happening inside the studio, the feds are saying that Big 30 walked over to the studio door to the lobby, closed it, and blocked it with his body, preventing people from leaving. Now, Gucci's head of security tried to get in and try to push their way through, but they're saying that Big 30 barricaded the door. With handguns drawn, Gucci Mane's head...
That nigga fat than a motherfucker, man. They said the goddamn security on the other side trying to get in there, man. I ain't even read that part, man. I ain't heard about the security trying to get in there, man. I know they did say Big 30 barricade the door with his body. This is the time that BMI works for him, man. This nigga barricade the door with his body, and then the security guards on the other side trying to get in the room, but they can't get past 30 body. 30 got so much body yaddy yaddy on them niggas. This nigga was blocking niggas out. He was blocking niggas out in the post, nigga. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that, team. That nigga Big 30. That nigga Big 30 got that Shaq body in the post. They couldn't get around that boy. Like, that boy got their Paul's Gasol post game, nigga. Like,
and the second security partially got the door open, but then realized they were outnumbered by a bunch of other guns that were in the room. So this is where your client gets thrown into a bigger situation.
With the body.
Again, you know, the way the federal laws work, I mean, okay, this is a federal case because they're saying that he crossed state lines coming from Memphis, Tennessee, or coming from Tennessee, entered into the state of Texas to commit a robbery and to commit kidnapping. That was his intent. So the government has to prove that he had the intent, and that was his reason for coming there. And again, as I've explained, they recorded music in that studio multiple times, and they had recorded music, from my understanding, the day before. And that was his reason for being there. So I think you still run into the issue of the intent.
Well, the intent is going to be hard to prove. I get that. But even if you take the intent out of the equation, they're still saying a crime occurred in that studio.
Well, but now the feds are involved, so there has that. If it's a state case, right, then that's different. But this is a federal case, so part of what they have to prove is that there had to that he had the intent of coming across state lines to commit these particular acts.
Okay.
And what's telling to me is if Shiesty had this gun drawn on Gucci Mane, why isn't he charged with a 924G or 922G?
What is that?
Felon in possession of a handgun. Because he's a felon.
Yeah. Okay, so you hear the feds taking on state cases sometimes, but can the state take on a fed case?
Lawyer man made a goddamn good, he made a good point there, Mr. Lawyer man. All right, nigga, with your tight suit. All right, nigga. All right.
The feds can opt out of taking this case.
See the watch, nigga. What kind of watch that is, nigga? That's the Jacob, nigga. What's this?
And hand it over to the DA in Dallas, and they can decide whether they want to indict it or not. Absolutely.
Are you worried about that?
I think we're confident knowing the facts are very different than what are the facts that are in the criminal complaint and the facts that we know about in this case. We're very confident that we see this very differently.
Okay. And by the way, so is the case combined with all 9 co-defendants, or are they going to have separate trials?
Well, if they're going under the guise that this is a conspiracy, then they would try them all together.
Okay, got it. Well, the Fed paperwork goes on. They're saying that Gucci Mane was pushed onto the couch in the control room, causing the victims to believe they're going to be executed. Shiesty placed the barrel of a gun to the back of BP's head and ordered him and Gucci Mane to leave the control room and the studio through the west entrance of the office building. So then Gucci told his head of security and the second security to escort them to the vehicle. As the victims were leaving, Gucci's cameraman, Matt, turned to Shiesty to ask them if they were really taking his watches, which ultimately I guess they did. And after this all happened, they actually got surveillance footage where the target suspects left the studio and the office building around 4:48 p.m. There was AirTag locations where the bag was and so forth. And then exterior surveillance videos showed that a white Buick Enclave, a black Hellcat, and a black Dodge Ram were leaving the location. And the Hearst confirmed that the Buick was actually rented by Pooh Shiesty's dad.
Man.
And
one of the car leaving the scene rented by the daddy, but he the first nigga out. But all right, there go.
Big 30's father owned the Hellcat and it had Tennessee license plates on.
I mean, we don't deny that he was there. I think what we deny is that he was there.
Yeah, he is kind of giving Vlad the run around. Like, Vlad can't get off shit. He like, well, actually, that shit ain't got nothing to do with Big 30 right there, man. You know what I'm saying? And that boy, then he hit him with it. Well, he's a felon. If he had this and that, why didn't he hit that nigga with that? That was some good shit. That's some good shit right there.
With the intent to commit a robbery and a kidnapping.
Well, Pooh Shiesty and his dad went back to an apartment because I guess Pooh Shiesty was living in Dallas at the time.
Yeah, he stays there while he's on home confinement.
Right. So him and his dad go back to their apartment. Big 30 and all the other guys go to a hotel at the Comfort Inn where they stayed overnight. But I guess the Hellcat was stolen the next morning.
Yeah, yeah. That's
crazy.
That is crazy. That's wild.
Right. So then
Well, the Hellcat was stolen, or they stole the Hellcat. Did a nigga rob Big 30 for his Hellcat? What the fuck?
next day, DeMarcus Glover, CMO Damn Fool, Mookie Rue 375, and Glizzy 375, they jumped on a Greyhound and they went back to Memphis, Tennessee. Big 30, Baby's Time 375, and KD, they jumped in the Dodge Ram and they went back to Memphis, Tennessee also. Now, after the fact, the Dallas Police Department found fingerprints from a couple of the members from Pooh's entourage on the cups in the room, which kind of basically helps establish.
I mean, what the fuck they gotta do, man? They got something to drink while they was in there, motherfucker? What? This mean they robbed niggas because they got something to drink?
They were all in the room hanging out together. Not that anything happened, but their fingerprints were on the cups. They were drinking. Now, Gucci Mane and his cameraman Matt described Pooh Shiesty as wearing a black Nike brand Shiesty mask, a black hooded shirt, and black pants during the offense. So, does this imply that Gucci Mane actually is cooperating with the feds?
It sounds like it from your dissertation, but also, I mean, this weekend we saw a video where he came out and said that he wasn't cooperating with the police. That's not what he does. And I'm paraphrasing, but basically, or essentially, he's not cooperating in this investigation, which I find somewhat odd based on some of the facts that are in the criminal complaint.
Nigga said he's acting like Rod Wave and his homeboy. Nah, I think niggas robbed Big 30 now. They said that because the other niggas had to take the bus home. That's why they had to take the bus home. Niggas got robbed. Niggas took the Hellcat from the Comfort Inn on their ass.
Basically saying that they got the information from Gucci Mane.
The best courses test your game. The greatest.
Yeah, that's what Gucci Mane said it too in the new song. So they got it. They got it.
Well, right, because according to the complaint, Gucci Mane, Matt, and BP identified Big 30 actually being present during the incident. So once again, it seemed like Gucci was cooperating with the feds by pointing the finger at your client.
It would sound that way, so I'm not sure whether to believe what he said over the weekend or what's in this criminal complaint. And that's sort of leaves me scratching my head as to this whole case. Because it sounds like it may have emanated.
I think niggas stopped scratching their head when he dropped that motherfucking song, man. The song was just, yeah, man. He told it all.
From some type of state.
He told what had happened, and goddamn me, it matched up with the statement. And yeah, I pretty much imagine this is over for Pooh Shiesty. This the last goddamn Pooh Shiesty goddamn. Man, we gonna be this. Hey, you gonna be big on YouTube while we going over your ass in trial, my nigga. We gonna be big.
Complaint that was eventually taken over by the feds. But we're not deep enough into the case to know how it came about.
You gonna be big, nigga.
Well, this is where it gets crazier. So, on the surveillance footage, after the alleged robbery, CMO Damn Fool was seen exiting the building carrying a Louis Vuitton bag, which the cameraman Matt had reported stolen. And then on January 15th, CMO Damn Fool, a very fitting name, by the way,
I know, right?
started posting videos of him wearing a Rolex GMT Master 2, which appears to be the same watch that Matt had actually declared was stolen. Then there was another person who was there who
CMO Damn Fool. Stupid ass nigga, man. But when you the damn fool, you gotta act a fool, man. Damn, man. I gotta flex this rolling, man.
I believe it was DeMarcus, who he said had choked and scratched him. They found his Instagram page, and he had videos of wearing a 1017 necklace and also showing off a bunch of cash and a Rolex similar to one of the ones stolen by Matt. Oh, so basically what the feds are saying is that Pooh Shiesty...
And then I got a question. If we don't like Gucci and we rob this nigga for whatever reason, big scar, Pooh Shiesty contract, whatever, why the fuck would I wear a 1017 chain, bro? That ain't even flick. Like, what's up? Like, is y'all mad at that nigga, or did y'all want it to be signed too? Did you really want it to be signed with Pooh, like, and Scar? Cause like, why you got on the 1017 shit? I understand wearing the watches and shit. Why would you wear the chain? You represent that nigga label. You just robbed this nigga, man. Held this nigga at gunpoint. You don't even like this nigga, man. Yeah, I just ran off on that nigga and his cameraman and security guards. And then you gonna wear the chain like I'm down with 1017. What kind of shit it is, man?
crew started self-snitching. They started posting up stolen items from this alleged robbery.
I can't comment on what they posted on their Instagram page. I can't comment about whether they own Rolexes or whether they had a 1017 chain through Pooh Shiesty or Gucci Mane or somebody else affiliated with the label. And again, it still goes back to how do we corroborate the facts that are in that complaint? You corroborate those facts with evidence. And from what has been testified to at this point, there's been no physical evidence that corroborates the things that you're saying.
Okay, the lawyer man might have a point. I heard y'all talking that shit, but you can't prove that shit. In court, you gotta prove that shit.
Happened and occurred on that day.
Well, when it comes to your client, this is the feds' overall accusations.
That it was a conspiracy, correct?
Right. Well, according to the feds, when it comes to Big 30, they said that eyewitness accounts state that Big 30 went to the recording studio during Pooh Shiesty's conversation with Gucci Mane and returned with a bag containing firearms. Eyewitnesses' accounts state that Big 30 filmed the release of the contract. Surveillance footage and eyewitness accounts placed Big 30 at the location, and following the offense, he was wearing similar clothing to what suspects in the kidnapping and robbery appeared to be wearing. And then cell phone records indicate that Big 30 traveled to Dallas, Texas in a vehicle registered to his father prior to the offense, and that places him in the area of the offense during the actual situation. And cell phone records indicate that Big 30 traveled back.
Why don't criminals ever throw their cell phones away, man? Leave them shit somewhere. Buy some flip phones or something, my nigga. God damn, we ain't learned that yet. We just gonna take our phones on crimes with us. All right, man.
Back to Memphis, Tennessee with other target suspects on January 13th, 2026. So some of these are indisputable.
And that's what I said to you earlier. I mean, some of the facts in the case, we're not going to disagree about. But I think the meat of what happened is sort of where we have a disagreement with the government. And you think about the guys that, I mean, and this is just common sense, Vlad, like the guys that rode back on the Greyhound. I mean, the car that was rented for them, probably once it got stolen, they had to take a bus back to Memphis instead of driving back to Memphis. So, and two, if there was some conspiracy to commit some big robbery, why would they go back to the same hotel they were staying at, spend the night, and just hang out and then leave the next day? I mean, that's sort of common sense would say if they had committed this robbery, like, let's get on the road and get back to Memphis, or, it just, some of it doesn't jibe well with what's being said. It just, the behavior.
Well, as Big 30's lawyer, what is your version of the events?
I can't go into I can't go into what my client and I have spoken about, obviously, for attorney-client purposes. All I can say is that we have a very different view and version of what happened today.
Are there plea deals on the table right now for Big 30 to cooperate?
Right now, there's a criminal complaint. They haven't been indicted. I would expect there to be an indictment very soon. And I think the criminal complaint gives you an indication of what the indictment will probably look like, if there is one.
Well, it was reported that Shiesty's dad didn't get bond, but that was actually false because he did get bond.
Correct.
Yeah.
How big was the bond?
I think it was $250,000, 10%.
Okay, so you put up $25,000.
Correct.
And now he's out. Are any other co-defendants on bond?
Hell no.
So from my understanding today, everyone was granted a bond except the last person in the criminal complaint. And I can't remember his last name. And Mr. Rogers that's in Atlanta, being held in Atlanta, has also been denied bond. So it's my understanding that everybody was given a bond except for Mr. Rogers and there was another individual, the last name in that criminal complaint.
But why ain't nobody out? I think they said they ain't let Big 30 out.
Okay. So, but is Shiesty's dad the only one that's actually out right now on bond?
Nobody's out.
Oh, even Shiesty's dad's not out?
Yeah, so those bonds so those bonds are going to be appealed. It's my understanding they'll be appealed to the district judge in Dallas. And we'll have to go back and have the entire hearing over again. The entire detention hearing over again.
Got it. So what's applying to Big 30 is applying to every other co-defendant.
Everyone that's being granted a bond.
Yeah, correct. Exactly. The bond.
Because the government is basically saying we don't agree with the magistrate's ruling, and we want the sitting judge to hear to rehear the detention hearing on all these individuals that were granted bonds.
Well, if this does go to trial, will every co-defendant have a separate lawyer, or will there be one central lawyer and a legal team representing everyone at once?
No, everyone will have their own counsel. And sometimes in cases like this, if everybody is working together, you can have a joint defense agreement where all the individuals agree to work together. Typically in federal cases, if somebody flips and becomes a cooperating witness for the government, then they wouldn't go to trial, obviously. They would be a witness.
So they would be severed from the case, in a way. Severed from the defense.
Correct.
Got it. Okay.
I'm not saying that there's...
But this shit 1 day ago. You know, shit be moving fast, man. Yeah. That's a day ago. This 30 lawyer. Which, yeah, he is, you know, he making a lot of good points. But all the points he making is making me like, yo, what? I'm confused in the motherfucker. Did this shit really happen? Did it fake happen? Why would it fake happen? Gucci wouldn't lie about that. All these niggas got bonds. They locked the fuck up. So it's something happened. But we just can't get the word, what about the dad adjourned? Ain't the dad out? If the dad ain't out neither, I know Big 30 and them ain't out. Hell nah, they gave Big 30 a bun, but they still said something, and that's why they held his ass after they gave him a bun. They said it was something. I don't forgot what the fuck they said. That shit was like on the news thingy.
There's a joint defense agreement right now.
Go ahead.
I'm saying that's potentially a possibility, but everybody will have their own counsel and everybody will have to decide based on the evidence what's in their best interest going forward. The interesting part from our perspective will be if you have cooperating victims.
Yeah.
Because in the past, in the past, I handled cases involving where a young Dolph was a victim, or alleged victim. I represented Black Youngster in Charlotte, and there were 2 other individuals charged along with Black Youngster. We were successful in getting that case dismissed, and we worked really hard to get them dismissed prior to trial. But the other issue was young Dolph was not a cooperating victim or alleged victim.
R.I.P.
Right, because from what I understand,
R.I.P. Flipper, man. I said Flipper wasn't cooperating, so that shit, they got that shit dismissed, you know. He wasn't trying to get that nigga locked up. Nigga, it was shootouts in Memphis out of that shit. Man, nobody going to jail. We rapping gangster shit.
and this whole case will probably hinge on Gucci Mane not just cooperating, but actually taking the stand.
That's correct.
Yeah. Man.
Right. Because if Gucci says, no comment, I'm not going to show up, could he be forced to actually show up in Memphis? Because he lives in Georgia.
The alleged
right?
incident happened in Dallas.
My
so
bad.
he would have
Texas,
to show up
right.
in Dallas if he's subpoenaed, but he could plead the 5th because if the story that he initially told, if he did tell the story is not true, then he would have, filed a false complaint. But again, looking at what he said this weekend, unless he's just putting that out there for the public so that people don't think that he's a cooperating witness with the government, he has nothing to do with this case.
Yeah, this was before the diss track because now we gotta know, like, he don't give no fuck about what no people thinking. That boy dropped the whole song about what had happened, nigga.
I mean, look, I have a interview from I think about 20 years ago with Gucci Mane,
I think this the
where
first.
he said on camera that he would rather die than snitch.
I know snitch on a nigga. Where we from, we'll do that.
Nah, man, you can't even do that. Like Vlad, the nigga was high than a motherfucker, man. Gucci probably can't even remember this shit, man. Gucci probably didn't even remember this shit when he was doing it, man. He probably on like 5 Xans, 4 egg pills, 3 pancakes.
These fellas all say, well, niggas I fuck with Michael, we don't do that. We don't snitch on niggas. We stand down for ourselves. Like, if I gotta go, I'm gonna go. I done went before. I don't want to snitch on nigga to save nobody's life, not even my own. I die.
He said that on camera. He says he would never snitch, not even against his own enemies. He'd rather die than snitch. So now, when this paperwork has gotten released, and there seems to be some indications of Gucci Mane cooperating, like there's videos of people in prison throwing out their Gucci Mane book, you know, because now they consider him a snitch and everything else like that. And I mean, if you think about it, like Gucci is one of the main anti-snitch type rappers ever.
Yeah. Well, and this says this is nothing to do with the case per se.
Yeah.
But just one of the things that I thought about before coming over here today to sit down with you was, why would you want to put your best artist that's made you millions of dollars back in federal custody for a decade or more?
Man.
Right? Like, it doesn't make sense. Because he drops FDO. It's the #1 song in the world, right? And he's signed to your label.
Yeah.
So why would you want to put him back into custody when potentially Pooh Shiesty could make you millions and millions of dollars more?
I mean, yeah, lawyer man, Mr. Lawyer Man, Mr. Arthur. That shit is extortion, man. Yeah, what's the fucking point of him making me more if he just gonna take it every time? If we just go, when I'm trying to get the fucking album from this nigga, I'm getting robbed every damn studio session, nigga. So how the fuck he gonna make me more? If I don't tell, he got a contract. He done made me sign. He trying to get legalified and shit. What? How he gonna make me more money, man, if I don't tell the police? Now I'm confused. We playing devil's advocate. How the fuck do Gucci Mane gonna make more money if he don't tell the police? Fact. Yeah, he can still get another artist. I don't know, man. I don't know. 10. I know what you feeling. But nah, I don't think he's not no rap artist. He gonna have to get some girls or some damn R&B niggas, some bounce music. What's the new genre? And they gonna have to get in another genre, man. Nah, ain't no young, oh, they might, cause niggas want money overall. But you never know, they might got the Pooh Shiesty mind. They might sign the Gucci and dissing why they signed to him. You know, young motherfucker crazy, man. You know, you can't trust the young people for real. Like, that's Pooh Shiesty young. Like, nigga Pooh Shiesty, hey, you can't. Yeah. If they see you, man, you got Shiesty locked up, they ain't gonna want to sign to you. Not no young rap nigga. And rap no gangster shit, and you gonna be on they songs, and you done got Shiesty locked up. Nah, man. Now, older nigga, yeah, but who wants to sign older niggas? Who looking for a nigga 37 to sign right now? Ain't nobody in the goddamn world is. You gotta sign yourself. You past 27, nigga. You just gotta do it yourself. I don't know, T.N. I don't know if he can do that unless he get a girl, get some girls. You know, girls going hard in rap right now. Get him a gorilla, a lotto, shit like that. But nah, I don't think Gucci. I think he said ain't nobody hungry gonna turn down a record deal. Shit, I don't know, man. Image is a motherfucker, man. You gotta go through the industry with comments of niggas saying you signed to a rat. He got Shiesty locked up. We ain't fucking with you if you come to this state. We ain't like, you know, negativity is a motherfucker. I ain't gonna say it ain't a nigga that wanna do it. It is somebody, but I'm talking about a hot nigga though. You know, Gucci, just cause you get with Gucci don't mean that you gotta be hot. Like, Pooh was hot. Fujiano was hot. Them other folk weren't hot. I don't even know they name. Big Scar was hot. I don't even know nobody past them niggas. What that one dude name was? It was like a dude out of high school he signed. Beats me. But it was a dude out of high school he signed. I don't know what happened. They got Lil Whopper. He a transgender now. Yeah. Probably, cause them the ones that gonna survive. And they ain't gonna go out here and do drive-bys and shit. And rob record labels and some CEOs and shit, yeah. 30 and 40 is probably a better age to sign. Like, them niggas probably really want some money. They ain't gonna rob you. They ain't gonna goddamn me, you know what I'm saying? They daddy ain't gonna help set you up. See, when you about 30, 40, man, your daddy like 50, 60, so he ain't trying to. Well, how old Pooh daddy is? 48? He 50 something? He a fresh 50. He still think he a young nigga. He still planning robberies and shit.
Well, but there is a theory about this, right? And I tweeted about this and posted on Instagram, and it went viral like a lot of my stuff does. And here's a possible dilemma. I'm not saying this is the truth, but here's a possible dilemma.
Look at, like, don't you hate a motherfucker that always got to toot their own horn? You know, all my stuff go viral, you know what I'm saying?
From the outside looking in, it appears that Gucci signed this release under duress. Now, if it's proven that it was signed under duress, then the contract gets thrown out and Pooh Shiesty is still signed to Gucci for however many albums. But if Gucci says nothing happened, I'm not gonna say that it was signed under duress, then the release is valid. And Pooh Shiesty is no longer signed to a Gucci Mane. So there's that angle to look at. I don't know how serious it is. Me personally, if I was Gucci, I would just let it go. You know, at the end of the day, he's already made money off Pooh Shiesty, and if the alternative is sending Pooh Shiesty to prison, I would just say, I'm not gonna cooperate. But then again, people get greedy, and sometimes they're just going after every dollar. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but this is a theory.
See, I feel like Vlad, though. I don't know about all that. I wouldn't have sent the man to prison. Yeah, just let him go. Like, you should have been let that nigga go, bro. Y'all been had smoke from when you posted this picture when he got out and he ain't even like that shit, retweet that shit, repost. Man, nah, fool. He got real smoke with you, Guwap. Y'all ain't been cool like that, bro. Like, I let that nigga go. Let this savage motherfucker, that nigga shot the weed and sneaker man. Who the fuck is Gucci Man? He shot the weed and sneaker, and he was famous already. He pulled up in the McLaren and shot that nigga or something. That nigga was like in a Ferrari or a McLaren. I think it was like an orange or yellow McLaren. It was some shit like a green McLaren. Man, this nigga pulled up and shot the weed and sneaker, man. That nigga finna shoot everybody in that goddamn studio, man. I think they did right by getting robbed. Like, yeah, let him go. Like, let him get it. You know what I'm saying? Don't even fight back. Let him get it. One nigga said he was gonna shoot a nigga on GP. That's some hood shit.
In this case,
Well,
You gotta be black, know that mean? Do it on GP, nigga.
I think even from a legal perspective,
GPT.
nobody has produced this document. Like, because that would be some corroborating evidence.
Yeah.
right.
So let's say the feds say, all right, we don't feel like we have enough to go forward. And then a few years later, they produce this document. Now you've corroborated the criminal complaint. That's a corroborating, that's a piece of evidence.
Well, yeah, I mean, until the document is produced, Pooh Shiesty is still signed to Gucci Mane right now, as we speak, until it's officially produced and Atlantic
even if it
Records
is
gets
produced,
notified or whatever.
He probably still signed to him based on this theory that it was signed under duress.
The rest.
Well, Pooh Shiesty has two lawyers, from what I understand. Attorney Bradford Cohen and Gary Helms. Are you familiar with these two?
I've heard of Gary Helms. I've never worked with them.
Well, Bradford Cohen said that there is a significant gap between the allegations made by the government and the actual evidence.
What?
And Gary Helms said the defense will present a version of events that is significantly different from the federal indictment.
Who is Gary Holmes, man? What's his version of what happened? You said what Gucci told them not to shoot because they was outgunned. Oh, they said that in court. Nah, man. They shouldn't have shot for her. Because they were gonna get their ass tore up, man. With too many gangster shit going on in there. Why you ain't come, man? I don't know, man. I think even if I'm a white man that's a CEO, I'm coming in that motherfucker about 20 black niggas on a nigga like Pooh Shiesty. I gotta show you, man, I got muscle, man. Ain't gonna do. Man, you my goddamn artist, bitch. You gon' goddamn hell nah. I ain't never coming nowhere with just me and 2-3 niggas. Not with you niggas. I do that shit with like some R&B niggas. Like, bro, you a fuck around kid caught slipping on it, man. Chris Brown be whooping nigga for real, man. You coming there on Chris Brown with two niggas, it'll been the same shit, man. He got bloods everywhere. You can't be. The music industry nigga gangsters is different, man. I'm telling you, man.
And the defense team has denounced the claims of the feds, and they're focusing on reviewing the evidence in anticipation of the bond hearings. So, have you talked to Pooh Shiesty's lawyers? And are you guys working together in any capacity? Because
at the
end of the day, Big 30 is not the target of the feds. It's really Pooh Shiesty.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, I would anticipate I would speak to them. And again, I think what they're saying is the same thing that I'm saying, right? That there's the government's version, and then there's our version.
What's our version?
And our version is that my client didn't commit any didn't commit any crimes, didn't break any laws, and didn't travel to Dallas, Texas across state lines from Tennessee with the intent to commit a robbery and a kidnapping.
What did he do then? They went back home after.
Well, Arthur Horn, I appreciate you coming in and talking about the case. It's still very much an open case. Your client is still sitting in jail.
I thought he was gonna tell us some more shit, man.
Along with 8 other co-defendants. It really is a tragedy, man, on a lot of different levels because, like you had said earlier, Pooh Shiesty, he got out. I think it was like 112 days ago. Dropped first day out. It became a huge song. Everybody was back on the Pooh Shiesty wave. And, I hope that what really happened isn't the truth, because at the end of the day, I feel like Pooh Shiesty had a very long career ahead of him. And a lot of people sign bad deals. That's just how it works, especially as new artists. But eventually, the deal ends and they go on to have even bigger deals, because then there's a bidding war over your next deal. And they go on to have more hit songs and big concerts and everything else like that. So at the end of the day, I hope this is all disproven and he can go back to having his career, as well as your client having a career as well, and so forth. But this is really a very crazy situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's really unfortunate that it has come to this. I mean, you saw with Meg Thee Stallion. I mean, she was able to, I mean, for years she was.
No, the Meg ain't got shit to do with this, man.
No, I'm not.
That nigga said he seen the Gucci man.
I won't be the one to give him no motherfucker.
I don't know, right?
No.
Well,
Fuck that
everybody,
nigga. Nigga ain't shared my comment, like nothing. They ain't even did some to that young nigga. Nigga, man. No, I'm not doing this shit. No.
I got a question. If you say you seen the robbery, don't that make...
At the end of the day, I hope this is all disproven and he can go back to...
This nigga said...
Music is one of the best ways to express your feelings. That's why today...
Hernandez Govan, the nigga who they said killed young motherfucking dog, man. R.I.P. Flipper, man. Man, this nigga say he seen the robbery. Don't that make you like a... Wouldn't the feds start getting your ass involved in the case type shit? Like, they start subpoenaing your ass for what you done seen, and then you can say you this, but nah, he can say this just entertainment, because this just YouTube. He could be like, nah, I was lying like a motherfucker, man. we was trying to get them views, man. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
I rep BGE forever. Do the dad, nigga, foot to the pedal. I rep BGE forever. Do the dad, nigga, foot to the pedal.